Hey. Oh, hi,
There.
Sarah.
Hi. Right, I'm going to read out our new intro bit. Um, Welcome to Table 58. This is informal a hangout chat between two random alcoholics. Not sure about the word random, but it is just random alcoholics. We're
Yes,
living
we
the
are.
AA program every day, seeking guidance of our higher powers, working the steps, and engaging in fellowship and service. We do occasionally swear slash cuss for Americans. Do you say swear as well?
Yes.
Yeah, we do occasionally swear. We do take deep dives into the spiritual nature of AA and go off on wild tangents and express our own opinions, some of which inevitably change over time. If any of these are likely to offend, then this may not be the channel for you. But if you have any questions or anything you'd like us to discuss, you can put them in the comments. Whoever you are, whatever your beliefs, we're so glad you're here.
Yes, we are.
What do you think about that?
I think it's lovely.
There. So I'm Sarah with about 6 months sobriety, and either that or that. This is Marissa, depending which way the camera goes. Is Marissa with about just over 4 years of sobriety.
Yep. You got it.
This is us just hanging out like we're meeting for a coffee. Close. Right, I'm just closing everything.
So if you're listening, hang out with us too, just like this, cozy and comfy.
Blanky, blankets.
Yeah, look, you got the whole setup over there,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, it is it's 5 in the morning. I keep thinking it's 4 in the morning, but it's not. It's 5 in the morning. It's practically afternoon.
Yeah, and it's 10:35 here. You must be at 5:35.
Yeah, 5:35. Yeah.
What are you
So,
gonna read for us?
so we were going to do daily reflection, but we can't decide which one to do because it's yesterday for you and it's today for me.
You should do your day. Oh, I
So
used the
what is it?
S word,
Seven?
SH. I've been advised to try to not use shoulds.
What, the hard S on the audio?
No, just in my vocabulary
Should.
overall.
The word should.
Should.
Yeah.
I'm trying. Anyway, okay, listen, I'm listening. Don't
So
mind me trying to figure out a plan to get comfortable over here while we go.
have you got a word to use instead then of should?
Oh, well, maybe. It's suggested that, or it's worked for me that maybe give this a try. I don't know.
We can.
It's been effective when.
Yeah, yeah. Right. So I'm looking at both and seeing which one's the when the chips are there. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll do my day then. So this is for the 7th. It is a Sunday. Yes, it is. If I can see it. True ambition. True ambition is not what we thought it was. True ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. That's from the 12 and 12, page 124 to 25. During my drinking years, my one and only concern was to have my fellow man think highly of me. My ambition in everything I did was to have the power to be at the top. My inner self kept telling me something else, but I couldn't accept it. My inner self kept telling me something else, but I couldn't accept it. I didn't even allow myself to realize that I wore a mask continually. Finally, when the mask came off, I cried out to the only God I could conceive, the Fellowship of AA, my group, and the 12 steps were there. Hold on a minute. Finally, when the mask came off and I cried out to the only God I could conceive, the Fellowship of AA, my group, and the 12 steps were there. I learned how to change resentments into acceptance, fear into hope, and anger into love. I have learned also through loving without undue expectations, through sharing my concerns and caring for my fellow man, that each day can be joyful, joyous, and fruitful. I begin and end my day with thanks to God who has so generously shed his grace on me. There. That each day can be joyous.
Yeah, true ambition is the deep desire to live usefully and walk humbly under the grace of God. Oh, nice.
Yeah, nice one.
Not quite what I felt like I was taught. Look what I get to learn differently. Thank you for reading that.
Yeah, and what we've been talking about is letting go of old ideas, what we've been talking about for a while. So there.
I've been thinking about this a lot lately. We have been talking about it a lot. And then we're bam, and then in the cold moon, December 5th just hit, which is right in the time where, as we go into this new year, if you're looking at it from an astrological perspective anyway, which is aligned just all different ways of seeing things. But we would be now really saying, here's the way it's coming to me. I'll try to put words on it. It has been more difficult for me to put words on it for some reason. Because it's not quite like shedding the old version of me, or I've tried describing it like wearing it, trying like when each time that I grow a little bit, I need to dedicate time to learning how to stay in that place. Otherwise, I get afraid if I see myself returning to, I don't know, like if the pattern has to shift. I guess what I'm learning is as long as I keep my routine no matter what my environment is, and I'm willing to be within reason, like within reason. Because I spend a lot of time in solitude in the mornings, for example. So if I'm traveling, I can't necessarily do that. Or this morning, I had something earlier that happened with work. So my time with God was truncated. And so then I'm like, okay, well, we did get a really nice 22 solid minutes in. And so I think this is great. Let's head out in the bubble light. It's time to get our resources utilized in other places. But okay, so getting back to how I would try to describe this, where we're kind of at this time. Like not just recognizing that I've like letting go from a cell, excuse me, from a cellular level too. Sorry, I'm sorry. Uh, like not even putting words on it. If I see it, this shadow of me, I don't even have to continue recognize that the shadow exists. Uh, like that I actually can keep walking forward, knowing that I am honoring it. I have honored it, but I just don't have to keep on. It really isn't me. So I don't know. Yeah, if you want to fly with that one, that's part of what I'm working on.
Yeah, that thing of like it's really easy to slip. Uh, yeah, really easy to slip back, or for that. I mean, it's bloody the those patterns of thinking for me, like because I'm 50 whatever. So that's long ingrained 54.
Hmm.
So that it's the really long ingrained pattern. So with the thing of like perfection then. Right, so this is what I'm deciding to do with my routine. So for my daily thing is like 2 hours in the morning, and I wake up at 4. If I wake up a bit earlier, that's a little bit extra time. And the morning routine thing is really important. I really enjoy it. It flies by really fast. And the thing is, prayer. I'll read a little bit. I journal a little bit. Not much in the morning. That's more in the evening. But in the evening, journaling. Sometimes I miss it, and sometimes I'm just writing, and I just need to sleep. But yeah, the morning thing. So if I miss that, like I've missed it this morning, I've done a very very short, quick, like a prayer because I needed to be up early, right? So uh, one of my things that I carry is perfectionism, and if it's not done 100%, then it may as well not have been done. That's going just letting the bar fall a tiny little bit is like a fail. It's just success or fail. That's it, black and white. Where I'm also learning that it's okay. I do want these certain elements in my morning, but say this morning, the most important one is prayer, just to dedicate the day to God and for His will. The other stuff, the reading things that I do, I can do that after this, and I will do that after this. So it's fine. That's taken care of. I don't have to be sitting here thinking, "Oh God, I've already got that wrong today," because that's if that multiplied up is led to not moving, like literally lying in bed, not moving, not doing anything because I didn't want to fuck anything up. So the extreme, they do say alcoholics take it's not just alcohol we take to extreme. Then the extreme version of that, if that plays out, that perfectionism is suicide. Basically, it's like now I've messed this one up. I don't have a perfect score in this life, so I may as well just dump the lot of this and move on to whatever the next phase is. You know, which is where I was at until I heard somebody say, uh, um, and don't forget, guys, eternity is a continuation of now, which changed everything. So it didn't change everything, but it gave me a completely different way of framing this. Actually, yes, maybe. But anyway, that's a thing. But still, like I'll get the echo of like yesterday when I struggled going to like a social event thing is cyclical ways of thinking about things coming back. So the initial reaction to that is why do I have to find this so difficult, and why does everybody else find this easy? Why was I made like this? What is the point of putting me in the world like this? If you're telling me to go out and this is what I should be doing, and then it's just like whoa, hold on a minute, it's okay. Right now, everyone thinks I'm attention seeking. That's actually the exact opposite of what I was trying to do. No, just a minute. Who says people think you're attention seeking? You know, so like that's that process of the self talk of
Wow, that's huge
the
what you're
gentle
doing.
the gentle self talk rather than the admonishing self talk is quite new. This is a new one that I'm trying on. And it's trying to remember to be gentle. Yeah.
You did great on that one.
Well,
I think this morning felt like a perfect example of that. So I, when I had the opportunity, this morning I had an opportunity for just, I work in higher education, and part of what I do is respond when there are emotional or behavioral crisis. So this young woman was just so in watching how quickly that the 0 to 10 happens when with my emotions and seeing like a very rudimentary look at it, but actually how as an alcoholic coming in and even today, like sticking to the basic guidelines of the kind of 1, 2, 3 basic steps, including I'd almost say first checking in on what we talk about, halt. If I'm hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, halt. So when I'm any of these things, and especially if my health already is in a place of lower stability, just the how quickly our mind becomes, as we talk about the mind is our largest enemy. It just becomes and just really to the point that I feel like I don't even know if I want to live anymore. It just becomes so big so fast, amplified like
yeah, yeah, monumental.
it feels like that, right?
Yeah,
But anyway, I just think wrapping my head around this change, you talked about the cyclical piece. Yeah, returning these events I find will continue to reappear as I am continued to be invited to enter it this time just a little differently. And like with your change in the self-talk and just being much more gentle with yourself and walking yourself through a process that's accurate, not like taking the suggestion of whose voice was it really talking? And then being like, oh no, maybe that's not even true.
yeah,
Do you think, because I thought it was interesting with this particular event, because you're really excited to go,
yeah, I was.
like really excited. You were excited, you were excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which wasn't like me.
What do
Yeah,
you think startled you?
um, arriving late and the seating arrangement. So my mates had saved me a place, and the people I really wanted to talk to were, so I realise now how important that is. Shall I be slightly more descriptive? Because
Yeah, that'd be nice.
see, I kind of just automatically assume that everybody knows everything. Yeah. So it was uh it was a meal for volunteers at a volunteer at, come on, at a place that I volunteer at. It was like our Christmas dinner, and I don't normally like those kind of things at all. Um, but I really wanted to go to this one because the little team that I particularly work with is that like they're close people. There's maybe 4 or 5 people that I really wanted to spend some time with where we weren't engaged in something like the actual. So a chance to be able to just hang out with them and relax. I didn't really think too much about it. There was alcohol there. It was free for us, like for volunteers, and it wasn't really the alcohol part that was bothering me so much. Uh, it was more like the lots of people in one place without the strong context. That's the thing. Like anyway, this isn't a therapy session. uh, so yeah, so I went. I was late. I saw a couple of my people stood outside smoking when I went in, and she said, "What?" Um, one of them said, "We've saved you a place," and I was like at the table, and I was like, "Yeah, brilliant, thank you." And it was dead busy. There was more people than I was expecting, and the place where I was sitting was a little bit away from about three of my gang. And then the people that I really wanted to sit next to were right over the other side of the room. So I started off okay. This is okay. I'll just focus on eating. So I just kind of put, and there's a lady that I kind of know, um, who was sitting next to me. So I just talked to her a little bit. Then there's a load of people that I don't know. And then one of the people that I don't know across from me was like a bit catty to the woman who was serving us food, which made me better. So I felt a bit. Anyway, I just focused. I was just like, oh, I'll just eat. But what I really wanted was for that bit to be over, so that we could move, and then I can go and find I could see the people I wanted to be with. That then I could move, just go, and like, yeah. Anyway, so, so that went on for ages. I just stuffed my face with chips, basically fries. Then it just for me it go I just go back to like I was too I didn't have a tissue. My nose was running. I didn't have a tissue in my pocket. I could have just gone to the toilet to go get some or ask somebody for a serviette or something, but I didn't have tongue in my head to do that. I could see the toilet where the toilet was. This was a new place, never been there before. I could see where the toilet was, but somebody else went into the toilet, and like I didn't have the guts to walk over to the toilet. I could see where my people were. There was nothing. There's like not a formal thing. I could have just got up and gone and sat with my people, and but it was at the stage where that I would dissociate strongly in public, and I've had that happen before, and it's really embarrassing. So, uh, what did I do? One of my peeps came up behind me and gave me a hug and said hello. And another of my peeps came over and said hello, which was really nice. The monumental thing just, was happening. So in my head was like, right, I'll just go outside and have a smoke and get myself together. And that's dead normal. It doesn't no nobody else, they'll know that they'll just see me walk out to go for a fag. No big deal. Like they won't raise any alarm bells with anybody. So I went out and it's like cold and the car's just over there. So like I'll go and sit in the car and have my fag. And I was going to listen to something on my phone I was thinking of actually listening while I was sat in the meal, but that's rude having a earbud in your ear while you sat at a dinner table. So I was just going to just listen to something in the car. And I got in the car and saw my chance to leg it. So I did. I just started the engine and left. And I parked up a couple of minutes down the road and messaged a few people in there and just said, sorry, that was a bit too much. I had to leave. Felt loads better after that. And came back in the room. But yeah, the funny thing about it was I was waiting for, well, two funny things about it was I was actually waiting for them to start drinking proper or start getting slightly drunk because fucking I wanted everyone to loosen up and start moving about and not being in like that arranged seating arrangement. And two, when I kind of got home and everything, and I was all right. Well, then I really I wanted a beer. And it's just like, oh, it's okay. I was fleeting thought, I'm going to carry on doing what I was doing before, which was chopping up wood and just chill, back into the thing. But the beer thing wouldn't kind of go. And it was like, yeah, bit of the idea of the alcohol was just a bit of time out. Like, I don't feel like I've had time out. Just like, oh. And yeah, and that stayed with me at low level. Wasn't I wouldn't call it a craving, but low level. I could get out of this one right now, you know. And then all the other stuff like, if it was only beer, and I could just buy like 6 little bottles, so I wouldn't be drinking that much. Why not? I'm all right. I'm at 6 months. I can do it. All that kind of thing. Not like, not massive, but there for a good while.
Did you play the tape all the way through, or was it just fun to tickle it?
But no, yeah, I kind of, I did. I'd like I know for definite if that, well, I know for definite. So if I was to go down that route, that would be, well, I don't know how it'd work out, but uh, yeah, I did. Like there's a variety of options. There's a couple of, things, but it wouldn't be the one that I was telling myself it would be, which is yeah, it's okay. You can have just take a couple of hours out. You can do this. It wouldn't be that one. It wouldn't be having a couple of hours out. I don't know, like that. But it's not somewhere I've already given up my
Your self-reliance on alcohol, you already know.
yeah,
No, not self-reliance. What did you say? It was self-will.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Self-
It's like that's not a choice that's on the table for me. But like, so yeah, I do feel a little bit kind of safe poking around the idea of it, playing around with the idea of it. Yeah, tad tad wary too. But it's like where I am. It's not a few steps away, and I can go and buy stuff. I would, I do have to plan it. I do have to. There's a it even takes me about 15 minutes to leave the house because the dogs have to be in a certain place. I need to open the gate to get the car out. To do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, it's
I
not
need,
worth it.
yeah,
Even if it took 30
it's not
seconds.
an instant thing. That's what I mean. Or I can't order an Uber of, do you know, it doesn't exist here. So whatever the thing is, I would have between deciding that I was going to buy alcohol and it actually hitting my mouth, even if I'd drunk it in the car park of the supermarket, even if I got in the car and immediately drunk it, it would probably be at least 40 minutes or something, absolute minimum. And if I brought it home, it'd be like an hour. So I've got that safety stopgap. There's no other way that I could get hold of it quicker than that, unless I was going to drink some engine fucking degreaser or something. No, not it won't be that. Some household product, which I
When I was at 6 months, I really was sure I was going to be able to go on a vacation and drink for sure. I was like, I'll figure this out. And I was even said to my dad at one point, we don't talk a lot, but I was like, yeah, I think I could do that. Of course, I would tell him, my father, the alcoholic, 'cause that makes total sense. It's the right person to tell. But yeah, I did. And then I remember the moment too when I was like, oh yeah, no, no, no. I would never be able to ever do that. Like that would not ever go. Like I would just be in Mexico on a cruise drinking for 6 days and then I'm like, dude, you're gonna be on that flight drinking all the way home, drinking, wondering why you can't get enough. I'm like, that's exactly how it's gonna go.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I can't do that. And I don't even want to do that. No, thank you.
yeah, yeah. No, no work. No, my thing ended up with no putting no fires in even. I was like, yeah, everything would go to shit pretty quick. It wouldn't take long. It'd only take a couple of days, and life would be way out of control.
I've been telling you that I just want to sit around like in a pub and have a beer and chat, you
Yeah,
know? Like, and I barely wanted to say the word beer out loud to you because I don't want to like create that type of thing. I'm just saying I like the coffee shop vibe. I'm just missing. I don't know. I think it might be the season. It could be just adjusting to winter when it is this quieter time. I'm getting much more settled. Right, right, just in time to make another big transition. That's how I roll, kids.
uh, in my thing, it's not New Year yet. Anyway, it's like the winter solstice is a biggie. I love that one, 21st.
Listen to this.
That's a big day.
On that day, December 21st, I make my final school loan payment
Yay!
on that day.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you do something for solstice?
No, not as in. No, I don't. But the people that I'm in contact with on that day are important because they're the ones who are going to be with me for the next until the summer solstice for that next 6 months. So I don't consciously. Well, sometimes I do, but I don't consciously kind of aim to talk with people or anything. But it's like I do take that as a indication of who's going to be in walking with me till the next one.
You
But also, interestingly, is I kind of think that the new year starts in April. Like, and that feels right. I don't. It's only a few years ago I kind of learned that, and it does sit right with me. It's like the January, February, March is still the end of the last year, and then the new one starts in April. The, yeah, I'm kind of.
What did you kick us off starting? Hang on, talking about removing thing. What how'd you describe what we're talking about when we kicked off this conversation?
Oh, uh, um, letting
Oh,
go
you
of
have.
letting go of old ideas. That
Oh yeah. Okay. So this has me thinking too that. about the things that, okay, self-fulfilling prophecies, or I don't know, just how little maybe we think. We just do a lot of repeating of phrases or I don't know, things that people said before us and like kind of even start to live by it. For example, we're talking about letting go of old ideas. It reminds me of when I was a kid and even like today where people will say this, you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And okay, so we just build in this system where it's like, this is who I am. Either you like it or you don't, and deal with it. Or yeah, kind of. And then you can even use it as to the detriment of other people and convince people that you can't change either, which
Yeah,
is
yeah,
not true.
yeah.
It's such a limiting belief. But then the danger, if we're able to actually think for ourselves, I mean, think about even spirituality. Religion really has tried to control our thought process around like just what a God of our understanding. We both believe in God. We talk about Jesus all the time. But man, if anybody, no, this is not the God that I understood was safely to understand. Anyway, letting go of old ideas. It's definitely a big job. It's a big effort. And I've had many a moment where I've eaten my own crow over things where I'm like, wow, I certainly don't see things the way I thought that I had. Thanks to your very clear demonstration of how I'm off in my viewpoint. I actually needed to receive that. This is uncomfortable. Woo! But now I've learned something new. Thank you for being so gentle with me while I'm in the process.
Yeah. Have you got an example that you're willing to share?
Do you have one?
Huh? Uh,
Okay, I'm thinking about times like, okay, this one's remaining teachable. So I'm kind of goofy by nature. This is just who I am. So it might come a little bit easier for me overall, just because I really don't mind if I, in general, goof something up. And I really, really, really want to learn. And learning means getting through some stuff sometimes, and especially related to trickier topics like race or talking about prejudice or anything related to a justice issue or something that other people might perceive as radical, maybe even talking about politics, I mean, things that we just haven't had an opportunity, I guess, to learn how to be in conversation in ways that are enlightening and learning as opposed to thinking that the purpose is to be right or wrong or one up somebody. And we've like completely lost sight of the fact that life is just not a competition, that isn't anything that was part of it. And religion has such a far scope over the US that I'm like, well, God, what a missed opportunity. Instead, we're sitting here we're gonna have to unwind today this old way, I'll call it that to be nice, that we really were taught. A lot of people were, well, what this kind of God really looks like. I don't know why I'm getting off on this right now, but letting go of old ideas. So that we're able that what AA has really taught me, frankly, is this concept that I get to think about or I get to have a God of my own understanding. To which I promptly replied, whatever in the hell does that function mean? That is crazy. That's like someone telling me you get to have a purpose, like, what is that? How am I supposed to figure out my purpose? Like, oh, don't worry, go to college and do these things, and we're going to teach your vocation. I mean, I went to and worked for a higher education university that is really committed to these two things. And they do a very great job of teaching it and building an environment around it. And I worked there and I couldn't get it until I got to AA. And all I
they're
really
really committed to what two things? The God of an understanding and no, the say that bit again.
the piece that until I couldn't really understand something. Kind of like it's hard to understand to how do you explain to somebody that this what a rose smells like? You got
Yeah.
to experience it yourself. So I guess what happened is I stopped asking questions like this. What does that mean? Because I'm completely limiting myself immediately because it feels so vast and so broad. And I'm terrified of trying to tell you how I think you could maybe achieve something, which was great because I had no business doing it. I came to the right place, AA. All the steps are outlined for me right there to follow the process that will basically return me to myself, to teach me that because every single one of us are unique human beings. The God in me sees the God of you. I mean, in the end, at the end of the day, it's that basic. And so returning to these basic principles of living, I mean, it shouldn't even sound outlandish. We are in a day and age where this is actually not strange. Like we've really gotten off track. But anyway, how about letting go of old ideas, you know? No, but so whatever I was saying, I don't know if that example
Yeah,
even
I was
worked.
thinking of like when you clear a room out or something, you know, when you like sorting stuff out, and for me it goes keep first of all take everything out of the room, then it gets sorted into definitely keep, recycle, throw, like ditch, and having a really good house clearance of stuff is this stuff that there's no question I'll keep every single time. I'll keep like photographs and uh, stuff, things that are really important to me that aren't up for kind of making decisions about. But that's like a small percentage of stuff. And then most of it is in the middle, which is right, I've got to decide what to do with this. Am I keeping this or so there's rules that, you know, rules in my head. Have I touched this in the last year? No, right, it can go. Because I don't like having stuff. Don't like lots of stuff. Mm. Oh, but this might come in handy for something. Right, well, if there's a place that I can put it, you know, for me, it's like bits of wire. I'm fanatic about keeping bits of wire and offcuts of wood and um, things.
I didn't know that one yet. I knew the wood
Yeah,
and stones.
I love bits because I do use bits. I do use a lot of bits of wire. They do come in handy, but because I'm in that uh, thing, right? Bits of wire do get used, so I save bits of, you know, like if there's an old, I'll even get them from home. If there's an old like little table lamp or something that's broken, that's it's just got to be thrown. Just I'll cut the wire off it, cut the electric cable because you can strip that down, and then you've got like really handy bits of wire for different,
Yeah.
right? And then there's different thicknesses of wire for different kinds of things. And basically, my car is held together with bits of wire. You know, lots of bits of this house are held together with bits of wire. I would never be without a bit of wire. And I've even put my own bits of wire into Dan, my chimney boss, his van, because the number of times I've secretly hidden them, and now I've told him where my bits of wire are because the number of times that I just want a bit of wire, and I'm like, where's it? He has got bits of wire, but it's all in one big messed up ball, and you need it quick. You know, it needs to already be there, so you can. So with Dan's, it's like I got to. untie this great big knotty thing and find some cutters and stuff. So I have my own lengths of wire ready to go. You can just grab one, wrap it around whatever you need. So that's different bits of wire I let myself, because they do get used, and I do get to the point where I've used all my bits of wire. So that's all right. I'm letting go. But other things,
How's your wire stash right now?
my wire stash right now is in the place, is in kind of the back kitchen. It doesn't need to be there really, and there's a lot of it.
Oh, you have
I'll
enough.
send you.
Okay, good.
I'll send you. So I could do with finding a new place. But anyway, rewind back. But things like I started saving. Oh, I save. Oh, save also. Right. I also save glass jars, because I do use glass jars for some things, but not like wire. So because I'm in the pattern of that, I just, every time I've got a glass jar, then I clean it and put it in the cupboard. So I end up with like hundreds of glass jars just taking up space, when actually I only use, maybe 20 of them every year. And there's hundreds, and they're just sitting there. They're really in the way. To, like I don't
What do you do with them? Would you donate them or recycle or what?
recycle them down there, unless there are people around that make jams and stuff. If anybody wants them, they can have them. But if not, I
Yeah.
just take them down the recycling thing, put them in the glass thing. Uh, yeah, so it's like sorting into what do I think I need? What am I actually using? Of the middle section of stuff. There's stuff I don't make a decision about, and I'm definitely keeping those things. Uh, you know, but then like 80% of my stuff is like this. I have to make a decision about it. And then there's a small percentage of stuff that I can just very quickly go, no, crap, that can go. That's going. And as the not to get too bloody like deep on it, but as I'm doing the step 4 stuff, looking back through a different kind of frame and lens and things, it's kind of like that process. There's stuff there's stuff that I'm definitely not discarding, that's staying with me. Most of the stuff I have to kind of make some decision about it. Am I gonna expend energy on making the decision about this, or am I going to try and work out a formula by which I audit stuff and go, right, that's to be done, that's to be done, that doesn't need to be done. And stuff that I just, do I need to bring things out into the light and look at them, and stuff's coming out that I haven't. I fucking remembered another, like when we were talking the other day, one was like, shit, yeah, yeah, like big stuff that hasn't, I don't think has come up in any conversation or any kind of anything in all my kind of adult years. So I'd like this isn't an overnight thing, and it's going to take some sorting through and that. Um, yeah, like what what you were talking about is that's really helpful, because there's some stuff that I don't, that I now think I can just let that go. I don't have to. I'm starting not to make much sense. There's, there's only I only have a finite amount of energy, and this is what I have problems with basically all the time is what to prioritize. It's like what to think about, you know. What shall we talk about this week? Could just pick a thing because there's so many shelves here. There's so many things, like in my filing cabinet. We could pick any like, but which what? So the problem I have is prioritizing stuff. I know I can see what needs to be done. I can kind of work out a way to do it. I know how to seek advice from people. I know how to look for information. I know how to um, uh, stuff. But what do I do first, or what's the most important, or that has always been a thing. Like I don't know what to prioritize.
In relation to your day or the week or
But like pretty universally. So the day, yeah, definitely. But I've worked out how to do that by actually just pre-plan. So I don't have to make the
good.
decision at the time. I just follow the
Yeah.
thing. Generally, like say with doing up this house, right? I know the tasks that need to be done, but which order do I do them in? What do I prioritize first? Um, the the life stuff I think is kind of the same as that. It's like that I only have so much capacity to process. So where am I going to put that processing? You know, like when you're thinking back about relationships with people. Um, I mean, I'm not to this stage yet, but I know it's coming up. You know, making amends with people and things where it's right. And I have a guide. I have a sponsor to take me through this. Uh, but I'm not going to be able to do it all 100% of my life. I simply don't have the time and the energy. So it's do I where do I focus on? I think that's part of the process is choosing the stuff to focus on.
So focus, use this as your beacon and run it past your sponsor, but less is more. And then when you're thinking about prioritizing your house, just figure out what your budget is. You already know. We talked it through. The ponds for later. You'll have it one day. You want to work on the clay stuff behind you and get those bricks in. I could tell you what you want to do. You need to boost it, like whatever. So when do you want to have it done by? Let's get to it. Well, less is more, and that's when all the stuff happens. It's just when I do this, my sponsor was like, Marissa, because I was doing all this. She goes, "This is not an intellectual program, Marissa." She's like, "You need to figure this out. This is not. You've worked in higher education. You know how to think. You process everything. That's the way you do things. This is not an intellectual program." I'm like, okay. She's like, yes, stop trying to be in charge of everything. Stop being the principal. And I'm like, oh, because God does it all. It's wild. Like even my amends, they swooped right to me. Don't ever push anything, it'll come right to you when it's time. All of it does. I've never once had it not go that way. Not one time. I just stay out of it, let it come when it comes. Don't force stuff. God tells me, and I'm sitting here trying to beg for answers. They'll come right to me. This job, everything came right to me. It works like that for you too.
Yeah,
That's what I really love. I think I might have said this in our earlier meeting. Uh, where the column in the inventory of where my self-reliance fails me. And these reminders like I'm letting stuff take so much space rent free in my head. The schedule works really well when I just stick to it. And then I get it though. It's hard for me to figure out how I fit the other projects in, but I do have plenty of time. I just need to write it down like I do during the week for my life for projects, actually like fill it in and write down from 1 to 4, I'm going to be preparing for my taxes, or whatever.
Yeah. Dan had a good solution for when I was talking about how complicated it is to. This is quite naughty, actually. But it's very naughty, but a bit funny. Um,
I love naughty things. Look at all of a sudden
yeah.
I'm like, what did you say? Did you say naughty?
So Dan's my boss, chimney sweeping twice a week. I work with him twice a week, and yeah, I was talking about the difficulties of um, managing. I mean, it's not from my point of view, but the difficulties of managing a large online group of any sort, but particularly AA, where you want it to be very open and you want people to be able to easily kind of find it and things, but how kind of vulnerable that makes it to, online fraud and all that kind of stuff, and I was saying to him, I said to him, I'm shielded from all this, I'm protected from all this for the moment, because to have any kind of role on, committee role or anything, there's a minimum sobriety time. And the quickest one, as far as I know, is a year, and I'm only at 6 months. And a lot of those positions are like 3 years sobriety, so I'm okay. But at the minute, I can't engage in that kind of stuff. And Dan just said, "Well, you know what to do, Sarah, don't you? Because I've been on committees, like I've formed committees and all sorts." And he said, "You know what to do, don't you, Sarah?" And I said, "What?" He said, "Just every 364 days, tell them you've had a drink." She said that he knew. He said, "This is probably really
That's funny. That is
yeah,
funny.
it is." It made me giggle for ages after.
Dan,
Yeah,
you chimney boss. I love that you
yeah.
described it like
He's
that.
just action though. He's like the other extreme from me, completely disorganized and just gets in and does it. Yeah, which I really like about him. Yeah.
I think we did good. I do think so, Sarah. Nice topic for the day.
Shall we end?
And we're in 2 different days still.
Yeah, we are. It's Sunday. It's my I don't have to run day today.
It's just another manic
Yeah,
Monday.
I wish it
Even
was
you've been
Sunday.
like, I feel like a burger.
Do you?
I'm sure I'm gonna have to go at 11:30. I'm not gonna be having a burger right now. I guess I could just stay up all night.
Right.
No,
Let's so again. I don't know how long this thing is.
I checked it. It's close to an hour.
Is it? Okay.
Should be 55-ish.
Right. Right. And now all we have to do is work out some kind of exit. We've got an intro. How do we exit? Well, I'm just going to press the button for now. We'll just think about that one.
Yeah, tell
Right.
us all how to exit in the comments.
Yeah.
See you guys.
No, I don't. I don't exit the meeting. Hang on. Wait. No. Oh no,
Oh, round 2.
no. I've just assigned you host. Shit.
Oh, good. Let me change you
No,
that.
I'm not
Change this.
exiting the meeting, am I? I'm stopping the recording. Can I still do that? Right, stop recording.